Why are people of all ages not getting paid per report that is of a grade status, different levels that have associated dollar amounts? So it's kind of like, and it kind of it would have a base pay for what what work they turn in, because I'm sorry, you can't have people being doctors and not actually doing doctoral status things, getting a doctorate's pay or doctoral pay. And with it should be, I don't know if I could drop numbers, but it should be about $250 solid stipends for any information of a solid nature. And then you would do stair steps. I worked at the teachers union. They do this for teachers, but this is for the teachers. This is for the students to be turning in work and get paid based on the, not just, oh, you get two cookies for an A and one cookie for a B, and then for a C is you get a cookie and and a napkin, right? Or you get a runaround. So it won't be like that. It will be literally, they will get dollar amounts placed into an account for them. That's the kind of trust fund that I would actually set up financially for my youngins, and that would motivate them, and then they could say, hey, and then once they're old enough, you take them to the bank. I had a lot of great people in my life show me how to use banks and banking systems, financial institutions, and I know the word institution has to be redefined, and so the banks are not. I complimented everyone because I thought that the American dollar, I think, still will never fail. We will hold the value for everything. There's no question about that. So I don't wish to argue with anyone, regarding or dispute anyone regarding all the housing and economical things. So the pricing of homes is important, but more than anything, it's the layout, it's the land. Environmental scientists are keys in atmospheres on any, no matter where we're at. Okay, so what divides planets? Okay, so is it the airspace, or a planet can be connected through black matter, through the dark holes, as they would say? I know these words are getting all misconstrued sometimes, but it has to be spoken on, and so I would take the work turned in, even art. I mean, this is how you guys would do base pricing for these people to get paid to themselves, because ultimately, you know what it goes into? It goes into their own bank account. So it's kind of like work for your number to go higher, and or lower, because if you guys do credit scores, is it better to have a lower number in the bank, or is the credit score higher, or is it the actual number in the bank, the debt that's associated? I worked at a credit bureau, and I don't want anyone to feel intimidated or think that I know personal financial information when that is not my intent and my goal, nor will it ever be. It would be to get base pays for people and keep them as healthy as we can with the flow of money. I don't want to say money, with the flow of items to be transferred. Okay, so people think, oh, I hand a dollar bill that has green ink and a light color on it. You guys think that dollar bill can't someday be worth a lot more than what you guys think, because the numbers do get accounted for. Um, Everything I think started getting tracked a lot better, and the the computer systems, the databases, I think everything was done correctly and as as brilliantly done as it was years ago. Um, the 70s, 80s, not like I think everyone deserves credit for any type of of I mean honest like we so with money transferring, it's a weight thing. So for financial economics courses, you guys would say what if I have a flower that is made of plastic, okay, so is that going to be deemed as a weapon? Am I going to have to pay someone to take the plastic away? So the doctors need to know those things. Is people have stuff inserted in their bodies all the time. Um, Sorry, and so also with music, it's a lot of people, and I'm gonna stop racking my own brain because in my mind I'm thinking, you know, innocent people that have some, fame and fortune and all that kind of stuff. Um, why and or how would they get hurt under any type of law when they're being, the best they can be, I guess, and stuff. And so, um, I won't question my personal story or life anymore because it only leads to frustration. And I wish not to go down that route of frustration. Um, the issues that I am having right now are actually, and I said something a while ago. I said the concept of having status, of anything, whether it matches numbers is actually really important. Um, that people talk about equality and the treatment of people with um, with what they have and all this kind of stuff. That all has to be taken in consideration. You cannot say that someone would sleep every day for 12 hours a day and then they would be up for 12 hours a day from the beginning of their life, and they got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, on the house. They got, and then just bam, just take it all away. That creates a huge, that is a war in itself. And so I have actually a lot. You guys can actually create a college course, and you guys, I would do like a class, a team of 10 to 15 people. I would say, read over all the paperwork, that all the schoolwork that has been turned in due to non plagiaristic types of information that has been given to the colleges and all this kind of stuff. Would be really cool to have people read over it and then pick the top papers and actually reimburse or retroact or repay, or go back in time and say, this person actually wrote something really great that that applies in today's societies and economies and all that kind of stuff. Because then what you guys would do is you would pick the top ones. Even science projects. I mean, you guys can. It's amazing what the stipends can do, and what you guys would also do is you would give a reward. I know it sounds silly, reward programs, and I know this was already done, but what you guys would do is you would say to the little kids, you would say, you wrote a report on biology, and it added up, to years later to being exactly what you said, and they saved the world, right? So then they could say, in regards to anything, and then they can go ahead and give the kids choices, and the kids get, to choose, and they can say, I wrote a report on biology, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a big portion to biologists. Okay, and then how great for the biologists to be like, hey, our degree stands strong, and our interests and our everything that everyone has been through lately, I think would at least get recognized through that type of an educational program. And if you guys, honestly, if you guys find something that someone has thought of, created, or done, not even using a patenting system, patenting systems go by chemicals. So I don't know if people really know that or knew that about me. So it was kind of a little surprise, I guess. But I know I know there's a lot of laws and policies that they actually stood up in courts of law and said, enough is enough with the whole, and with the whole thing of, who owns the color yellow, and who wants to, choose a model for the color yellow, and what skin colors go. It got really out of control, as well as the funding and finances got so ridiculously at large with names of people that really, I don't want to say that didn't have that got their names placed on something, and then they think that that's a permanent number that will, I'm telling you this now, you can get signed up for something and get on a salary base for $100,000 for 4 years times 100 plus all of the extra stuff, and then you come to find out you guys go and it costs $100,000 for a candy bar, and you eat 3 candy bars a day. What are you gonna do? So that's kind of stuff that we think about here. I have graphs of a lot of things from the era in which I wasn't absent from the really great things that artists did, but I was too young to actually take part in a lot of those things. So it's really neat to see that we, you guys still have, for the older guys and men and women, that they have enough videos and all that kind of stuff to keep everyone, even with their own personal stories and memories. In regards to Facebook lawsuits, I know this sounds weird. It's a little confession of mine. I don't know why I have to confess anything, but I guess I'll just get off my chest. I was trying to do a lot of things with the Facebook stuff. So the purposely staying off of that kind of stuff is not necessarily psychologically healthier, but the depression of Facebook was a major psychological debate and key and all this kind of stuff, and social media. I know Stanford and all those things used it for connections, and to, I had a Facebook party, and it led people to my home, and so, with a map on it and an invitation, and I was like, I don't know, but it's good for that kind of stuff, for event planning. I think that was their goal, and meetings, but if the person is in a dangerous situation or danger zone, then the satellite, okay, so the signals and all this kind of stuff. I was trying to the internet systems. They try to split up and divide the. This sounds bad, but they tried to divide the everyone so that it was according to their perception and their friends, as well as restraining orders that came about in, I don't even know. I don't do research on this kind of stuff. I kind of just follow up with it, and I follow through with the downfall of a lot of information. The coolest thing though is that word of mouth, I think, still stands strong where I'm from. I think a lot of people, I'm telling you guys, it's amazing not stalking people, okay? Not knowing their story, and then meeting them and figuring out how you want them placed in your life is actually the powerful thing behind what brought me about to the life in which I have acquired, and or which is given. It is inheritance. Well, I already know about services and the associations, the passwords. I was working on passwords because if you guys do arithmetics and algorithms, arithmetic math, and if you guys do decoding of psychology, the psyche mind of decoding the psyche mind is actually one of the coolest things, because if you guys get a psychologist in who understands the concept of what I just said, they would take everything and they would actually have a test to have to pass to get to, if this is for like a second, this would be a second doctoral degree that people would have to actually work with a lot of patients for, through the medical system and all that kind of stuff, getting proper things to them to speak and to actually, even by looking at someone. So if you guys see me and you guys are like, I bet her password to Facebook is gray tank top, lips and eyes, okay, and gray tank top too, or gray tank top, I don't know. And so what you guys would do is you guys would take everything you know about the person, and you would analyze them, you would observe them. That would actually be the only stalking type of observationalistic type of lawsuits that they could get out of in regards to watching people and observing what they do, especially when we live in a time where a lot of people are afraid to speak, and that is okay. A lot of people are afraid of devices, of phones, of mirrors, of the way that they look, their everything. You guys name it, people will find something, to even weather-wise and all that kind of stuff, to speak on. And so, as simple as that, you guys want to do this check-in through the internet program, using all these kind of things, but you guys have to have a technological team to actually make sure that these people have that access and don't have to end up getting a big bill at the end of the year. What if the main doctor that you guys need to see, or the main person who you need to turn in work to or anything, says, the end results is that this will bill your insurance, or will bill your company, or paycheck will get deducted from the internet service needed. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, so I just did everything for a year and I get $1. So that's the government. All the tax people have to step in. I have a lot more faith now based off of these people all around and stuff. Of yeah, and the even the way that the ads connect. Do not fear artificial intelligence. Okay, stop looking at my arms. Do not fear. Um, do not fear artificial intelligence. Okay, I'm telling you this now because what's going to happen is people are going to they're going to say, oh my gosh, my cell phone is reading my mind and it's taking over and it's refeeding stuff. And honestly, it's a Google search. So the search that when you guys have a thought go in your head and you guys you key it into the little bar on the computer and it brings up information, you're telling AI, artificial intelligence, what you're thinking about. So it's not that a computer or a person is reading your mind or your thoughts. You guys are actually inputting them into your own databases, okay, and typing in keywords that will reroute finances for advertisements and marketing, which is what I've done before. But I was not the one. I never did stuff like that. Anyway, this isn't my personal resume. This is just ideas and stuff for what needs to be done. I can speak for about 10 more minutes, but then I gotta go. So I'm so tired. There was a big problem actually last night. And actually, it's I do not like to see only on certain nights, a Monday through Friday or a Sunday through Saturday or 8 days a week, okay, for the Beatles and stuff. I do not like to see the same thing happen on a routine. I mean, it's good to have routines, it's good to have schedules, it's good to have plans, but you guys have got to work on emergency camera systems, emergency drones, emergency helicopters, emergency factories, emergency everything. Do not put and I know that a lot of people are trying to spread out and create happy spaces for everybody, but these large warehouses have got to they have to be more orderly. There's in creating a home. Okay, so people ask about home planning and layouts and blueprints. When doing a blueprint, it's not that we're really necessarily simulated as in simultaneously, or things are copied or mimicked based on even a house, or a factory. So that person in that factory can actually say, you know what, in my old factory or wherever the other factory was, you say I've been to this same type of facility, and I know that there's a bathroom that should be right over there. And so this goes into piping systems, this goes into underground tunneling, and so it's good news of what I'm hearing regarding the work ethics of a lot of these people. I would love to have someone who can just size people like you literally look at someone and then you say you know what, without even like blinking or flinching, you say, I know your value, or whatever you want to say. I got sunburnt yesterday and there was just so much going on. I know my lips. Anyway, another question. I gotta go. the what we're losing in medical terms is the basics of terminology, and also the accusations of people saying it. Well, you gotta say, well, this worked for me. I drank a gallon of milk and my stomach ache went away. Okay, so if I go drink another gallon of milk that's been sitting out for 5 days, is it going to have the same results? So you just have to think about that chemical stuff, and then drink some milk. Have a good morning.